and I was telling her about Lord of the Rings, right? And I was explaining how the Balrog was a, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, a Maiar, which is the same choir of angel. Choir, of course, being a level of angel. She was the same level of angel that Gandalf was. Sorry, the Balrog was the same level of angel that Gandalf was. But within that choir of angel, the different colors are often, not 100%, but it's pretty much assumed how powerful you are. Which is why Gandalf the White is powerful, at least way more powerful than Gandalf the Grey. Do you understand now? So Gandalf the Grey was defeated by the Balrog, or at least fought him to the death of both of them. But Gandalf the White would have been way more powerful, or at the very least a little bit more powerful than the Balrog, Durin's Bane. Now keep this in mind because this is important. Sauron is also on that same choir of angel, but he uses a ring of power in order to effectively elevate him to the power level of a choir of angel above that, which is why Sauron was able to corrupt Saruman the White, even though Saruman the White should have been the most powerful of that choir. Sauron plus ring of power greater than Saruman the White. Anyway, so I had just gotten through explaining this, and the girl said, you know, I'm totally uninterested in what you're saying, but while you say it, it just sounds so interesting. Well, you have to remember the rings, does Gandalf wear a ring? I can't remember. Now, I do know that the elf girl with a ring of power, she's said to have been so powerful that it would have taken the Witch King or Sauron himself to, defeat her. Now, bear this in mind, is that the Witch King, of course, is a Numidian, which is a more powerful human. A Numidian is one of the original humans. They're more powerful. He's a Numidian wraith who also has a ring of power. So the Witch King is actually way more powerful than a lot of people realize. He's Galadriel? Well, Witch King is a Numidian, okay? Pure blood Numidian, who's also a wraith, who also has a ring of power. That would make him pretty fucking powerful. Now, Galadriel is obviously an elf, very powerful elf with a ring of power. So the question becomes, can a
surpass the frailty of your form?
I think I'm okay. I'm pretty sure I'm fine. Unless he gets a random sneaky auto attack in here, I'm fine. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to disagree with that guy. Galadriel could definitely be beaten by the Witch King. Because, stop and think to yourself, is a Numidian less powerful? And by the way, this is a Numidian king. Remember, within the Tolkien universe, royalty have more power. So, you're telling me a Numidian king plus Ring of Power plus whatever the fuck powers being a wraith gives you, you're telling me that that would not be able to fight Galadriel. And I have to disagree with you on that one. Am I saying whatever the fuck they are? Nemorian, whatever the shit they are.
Against the dying light.
I'm gonna go back because Tiamat's kind of a big power spike. The Ring of Power merely enhances what you're already powerful at. Now, that meant that hobbits, who are naturally sneaky people, would become straight invisible with a Ring of Power. And with the Ring of Power, obviously, they would become just completely invisible. Hence why, when Aragorn sees Frodo become invisible, he's like, wait, what the shit? What happens when a dwarf wears the ring? I don't really know. You have to remember, the universe isn't... Like, a lot of the universe is supposed to be ambiguous, if you will. So, what happens when a dwarf gets the ring? I don't know. But something that a lot of people don't know is that within the Tolkien universe, a lot of stuff is left up, basically left up for you to decide as the viewer. What powers does Gandalf have? I don't know. How powerful is the Balrog? I don't know. Why did the Balrog come out to fight Gandalf after slumbering for so long? I don't know, maybe he was annoyed? Well, why, the question remains, does the Balrog associate with goblins, or did goblins just move in and he tolerated their presence? Now, goblins would be way the fuck below the Balrog, so the Balrog would very likely not like to associate with them. So it's just, it's things like that. Now you can say, oh, well, it's because he had a plot hole. Maybe. But that's why it's left ambiguous. It's left ambiguous, so there's no such thing as a plot hole. They don't explain it. The dwarves woke it up, then why did it go chasing after Gandalf? What purpose would there be after all this time to go chasing after Gandalf? Or was he just pissed off that Gandalf was in his, terrain? Did he think Gandalf was coming to kill him? Obviously, they would have been able to sense each other's presence, but what possible reason would the Balrog, who at that time wasn't associated with Sauron, because remember, he would have been on the same choir of angel as Sauron, so it's not like he's... What do you call it? It's not like he's listening to Sauron. He's just back there. He's waiting for the return of the Dark God. Melkor. Oh, I thought I was tanking. That's why I was healing. Shit. The Balrog would not be subservient to Sauron. He would be sitting down there waiting for the return of Melkor. But why would the Balrog then, knowing that his god wasn't there and knowing that Gandalf's god was there, why would he choose this to be, after 10 billion thousand years, why would he choose this to be his fight with Gandalf? That doesn't make sense. He would have just stayed hidden. Yeah, I do like my jungler being awake.
Rampage.
Punishment.
Killing spree.
Blaming myself.
Unstoppable. Double kill. An ally has been slain.
Because, I mean, what happened immediately after the Balrog fought Gandalf to death? No, the Balrog would be at the same choir of angel as Sauron. There would be no reason for the Balrog to follow Sauron's orders. Nor is there any indication that he was.
Words from a bleeding mouth. Swallows pride with a swollen tongue.
What do I think of the eagle plot hole? It takes a long time to explain it, but I can. So basically, the eagles aren't just really big birds. They're actually like really special creations of God. And one, they would consider it beneath them to even involve themselves in the war. But more than that, you might be saying, well, how could you say that, Hashinshin? Sauron's coming back to kill Middle-earth. But yeah, for like the 4th time Sauron's coming back. Why the shit do they care? In fact, he's not even as close to winning as he was in the last times he tried. So why would they give a shit? The Eagles, you have to help us. Sauron's back. Okay, yeah, he's back again. Who gives a shit? Why do we care? Same reason the elves were leaving, by the way. The elves don't give a shit. The elves are like, oh, Sauron's back again? Alright, humans, just go deal with it. It's the age of man now. We out, yo. Could be that the Balrog wanted the one ring of power.
Godlike. Double kill. Shut down.
That's something that's really left out of the Lord of the Rings, is the fact that Sauron's been, this is like the 4th war Sauron has started, and for a lot of his existence, it's just been Gondor fighting him. Which is why, by the way, the steward of Gondor is so pissed off and wants the ring. That's why he's been saying, look, we've been fighting Sauron now the entire time. You guys have been sitting here doing jack shit and sitting on your asses. We deserve the ring. Because he's actually right. They have been doing jack shit, sitting on their asses, while Gondor has been fighting them all the whole time. That's something that also isn't really brought up in the movies. Fuck. Well, that's exactly my point, though, is for a lot of the people, this is just, oh, Sauron being Sauron. You know, you'll go kick his ass. We got faith in you. For a lot of people, it's just like, okay, Gondor, go beat him like you did the last couple thousands of years, you know? But a lot of people don't understand that Sauron is actually closing in on, you guessed it, the One Ring, which is why it's called the Lord of the Rings. Shit. Oh, we got him. Bye. Thing's fucking up. There we go. Whoa. But anyway, the reason that Mordor is able to actually beat Sauron this time around comes down to one very simple thing that you might not be realizing. Again, he's got the One Ring coming. 2, he's made a lot of allies. He's combined the Haradrim and the Easterlings. The Easterlings are really pissy at the Rohan. Rohan has beaten the Easterlings and taken their land a lot of times. So, they're a little bit, you know, not too keen on Rohan. And, the other ones he's just corrupted through some ambivalent thing. From what I remember, dwarves are beneath elves, and that causes a lot of their friction. And again, why in the movie? they weren't too keen on working with each other. You also have to remember is that within the movie, people say, well, where are the dwarves? The dwarves actually were fighting. The dwarves were under siege by the Easterlings, I think it was. And the Easterlings were the most competent of Mordor's forces. And, the Easterlings were sieging them in their cities, but the dwarves literally just went underground and sat in their cities. So the Easterlings tried to attack them, and by attacking into a dwarven city, they got massacred, because that's not exactly the smartest thing you can do. But they saw that the war was going poorly, and they wanted to try to make a desperation play. Oh, they surrendered.